First at 11, a group of protesters trying to send a message to state lawmakers today. Dozens of cars driving from downtown Jacksonville to Deportation Depot. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Channing Curtis. Deportation Depot is Florida's newest immigration detention center in Baker County. Now, our Zach Wilcox actually followed the caravan and joins us now in the studio. So, Zach, many people put messages on the cars themselves.
Yeah, Channing, I mean, there were a lot of cars in this caravan, probably dozens, and each one, or at least a lot of them, had actual messages written on there in paint. And there really isn't a place by Deportation Depot to stage a protest, so the protesters really took it on the road, literally with those cars painted with the messages on them as they filed their way down I-10, all to make sure this issue stays in the limelight.
Looking at any detention center is a scary thought.
As she drove past Deportation Depot, Vanessa Alvarez says she found herself thinking about what the conditions must be like for the immigrants detained inside.
Those are real human beings that are living in there, a lot of them who don't even deserve to be there.
Alvarez was followed by a few dozen cars as they passed in front of Deportation Depot in Baker County, which the state of Florida opened just a few weeks ago after Governor Ron DeSantis said there was a demand for more space for immigration detainees.
The reason of this is not to just house people indefinitely. We want to process, stage, and then return illegal aliens to their home country.
Members of the Jacksonville Immigrant Rights Alliance were at a similar protest in July when Camp Blanding was in line to become an immigration detention facility, which never came to fruition.
I mean, it often feels like a game of whack-a-mole. We just expect to pivot as much as we can and fight for what's right.
DeSantis said last month the Baker Correctional Facility was selected because it had a massive part vacant with space for 1,300 detainees and easy access to Lake City Gateway Airport.
Securing the border, enforcing immigration laws, and removing illegal aliens who are in our society now and sending them back to their home country.
Immigrants are being put in a place of you are a criminal based on your legal status. That needs to stop.
Monica Martinez says even if the immigrants inside couldn't see their caravan, she's hoping at least the people who work at the facility got the message.
Immigrants are not going to be left on the sidelines, and we're going to prioritize their rights just as anyone else.
And an organizer mentioned this protest was part of a national call to action, the Legalization for All network, with protests planned all across the country this weekend. So next, this group will be protesting at City Hall Tuesday. Channing.